live. Oh my God, that was so funny. Sorry, people. I didn't know if that was our real intro or whether Richard was playing around. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the Sunday Sofa. I am Jane Morton. I am a psychic counsellor, psychic medium, holistic therapist, healer, teacher, everything else. And the lovely
Polly Harnett. So welcome to this Sunday Sofa. Really pleased to see you. It feels like it's been a little while, doesn't it? Jane? Feels like it's been a little while.
Month.
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah.
We've just been lots going on with one thing and another, hasn't there? I hope you're all good at home and in this drizzly day, sitting watching us instead of some awful thing on Netflix, because we're what matters on a Sunday at 4 o'clock. So please do join us.
Netflix.
Please share us around. So please share, because if you care, you'll share.
And like.
Oh,
really?
We've just heard some gossip. If you have Netflix, which I have, and I didn't know this, go into your settings and change back to the $6.99 a month version, because it's automatically making us pay double. So please do go into your settings and check that out and save yourself some money. So yes, I'm Polly Harnett, and I am a spiritual medium, tarot card reader, trance medium, healer, all sorts of lovely, wonderful things. And we're really, really pleased to be with you all today. So, Mrs. Jane, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about healers. What we're going to call them? What was the name we was going to call them? No, we're going to be professional. We were going to talk about healers. Yeah, we will be doing readings, people. So if you want to ask anything, or if you get drawn to someone, we will pick out some cards. But we're going to talk about healing, how people promote themselves as healers, how, what are they actually healing? How legitimate is their healing? Can people just put healer above their name and go out and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things? There's so much talk about the psychics and the mediums and how authentic we are. Why are people not paying attention to people that are working as a healer? Both me and Polly are healers. I'm also a teacher in healing, but it is accredited and it is we've got certifications for that. But it is worrying what people say they can and can't do with no guidance. So we thought we'd talk about that.
Yeah, so let's say some hellos first. So hello, Terry Louise.
Hello. Hi, Tina.
Lovely Tina Place. Hi, Linda Wallace.
Hello, Jane Ashton.
Hi, Sue Chadwick.
Hi, Wendy Gawley.
Hi, Christine Davis.
Hi, Lynn Taylor.
Hi, Linda Wallace. I think we said that already as well.
Again.
Hello twice.
Hello, Janice Craven.
Hello, Honora Lewis. And thank you for that lovely message.
Yeah. Hi, Lauren.
Hello, Rosa Meserios.
Hi, Tony Wright. Is Richard giving you the hard one so he doesn't?
I think he is. Well, he knows I'm so dyslexic that I'm going to get it wrong.
I'm worse, so I reckon he's giving them to you this time just to give you a break.
Hi, Di Redman.
Hi, June Malkin.
Hello, Alison Barton.
Hello, Alison.
She does make me laugh, that one.
Hi, Joanne Lewis.
Hello, Carolyn Thomas.
Hi, Sheena. Wow, happy. What's it? You've done it on purpose. From Melbourne. Hi, thank you for joining us, Sheena. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Gillian.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Anne Davies. Hi, Katie. Oh, hi, Katie. Hope you're feeling better.
Hi, Terry Smith.
Hi, Natalie Bentley.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Catherine. Right, guys, everyone at home, just in case, sometimes if you don't follow SPTV, sometimes we do not see your comments. So if you could go into the SPTV and like and follow, then hopefully we'll be able to see any comments that come up. Unfortunately, some of them aren't showing, which is a bit sad. And hello to everyone on YouTube also.
Okay, then.
So,
where should we start?
So where should we start? Now, well, there's lots you can say about, there's so many different healing modalities, isn't there? And let's say my little gripe. Now, I know that I'm probably going to get shot down dead for this, right? But it's like I've learned to become a Reiki practitioner first, and then I became a Rahani practitioner. And I know you are also, aren't you? And a teacher, Jane. And I also naturally do trance healing because I'm a trance medium, and it just comes naturally for me to disappear off and let my guides get on with it. Okay, so that's another way that I heal. I also heal animals. However, I always say that a healer is a healer. I know that we can have a certificate for it, for example, like I've got Reiki and we've got Rahani. But it is interesting that when we do learn different modalities, that they do often like to say that you shouldn't mix like two. You shouldn't mix. Do you agree with that? Because I don't.
No, I don't agree with it, but I know what you're saying, because people do say, oh, you can't mix two healings. Excuse me. You can't say suddenly start off with Reiki and walk yourself into Rahani, or vice versa, or anything else that you want to do. I don't know if that's people playing safe when they're obviously, when we're being obviously attuned to it, and they're just saying that because we're attuned and have a certificate for that particular healing. I don't know what the reason behind that is, to be honest, because like you, I agree. You either are drawn to healing or you're not. You either feel, I mean, it's not like people say, no, I hate that word gift. It's not a gift or so much as an ability, as it's something that opens up inside you. If you're an empathic person, if a caring person, healing is definitely something you'd be drawn to. And a lot of people who work spiritually and psychically will probably be doing some form of healing, like you said, especially when you're doing your trance. But others are just learning to do Reiki or Rahani, mainly those ones at the moment, just to be working in a spa, but actually don't understand the why, where it comes from, why they're doing it. It's like a treatment for someone that can pay for it, and again doesn't even know why they're receiving it. So although we've obviously certificated and accredited, it is worrying even at that level what people truly understand that it is, because often you can mix it. I've only ever done Rahani, but I know that I don't necessarily follow it to the T when I'm working with people, because it's how I feel drawn to work, not in a religious sort of, this is how you've got to do it in this specific order. I just do it.
Yeah, no, the same as me. I mean, sometimes I start off doing one thing. For example, I might start off doing Rahani healing, and then the next really deep healing guides. So yeah, it's and I just think that's what that person needs. Sometimes it is just a session of Reiki or a session of Rahani and how I've been taught it, for example. And sometimes, depending on what's going on with them, that's why I think it's like there's all these lovely disciplines, isn't there, with all these different healings. And they call that Reiki is third dimensional healing, Rahani is fifth dimensional healing, which obviously is a higher level, higher energetic healing, isn't it? And I think it depends obviously who you're working with and how you're working, and it doesn't really matter to me as long as that person that is there receives healing. When somebody comes to me for healing, and I'm sure the same for you because I've not actually had healing with you, I will tell them what I'm going to do with them and what my aim is, and what I hope that they will achieve out of the healing. And I'll be telling them where I'm going to put my hands, for example, making sure that they're comfortable with the fact that I might have hands-on, or would they prefer hands-off? And there's a whole long conversation before, and some paperwork before I do any healing with anybody. And I think it's really about making somebody comfortable, and the more comfortable and the more relaxed they are, the better the experience is going to be for them as well. So yeah, I just think that everything really, if you think about everything's energy, then everything is energy healing, I feel.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it is important to make sure you tell people what you're doing, because they need to feel relaxed. If they're not relaxed, they're not going to enjoy it anyway. They're not even if it's their first time, they are not going to be able to relax to enjoy that. Wendy Gawley's put, is there something to look for on a certificate to know it's authentic? Thank you. To be honest, Wendy, I mean, when I said we've got certificates, we have to have them to work with insurance. So when we work as healers, we're insured to do so. So we have to have a certificate that is obviously able to go to the insurance company and is recognised. So normally it would have some kind of accreditation to some federation. Is it the FDA? And I'm terrible because I haven't looked at mine in some years. But it would have an accredited body that it would answer to, and that's how we get the insurance. Reiki's been going for literally, God, I can't even remember how long. Rahani's only been going for something like 23 or 26 years again. So sometimes they take longer to become more recognised and accredited.
I've just got to sort out my Ethernet, which has fallen out.
Okay. I thought she'd gone a little bit stiff, didn't you, Richard? I thought she's frozen. I thought, what's up with her? She's having a moment. She's gone into a trance healing state. So yeah, so you would really look at, first of all, you'd look at what healing you'll be drawn to, Wendy, anyway, what suits you. You then ask probably questions anyway because it's not a cheap course to do, but you would ask questions, I would hope, on what you will get from it and where you can use it and what kind of certification you've got. So it's really doing your research on that and knowing that you can actually go and work with it. Obviously, I work holistically anyway, so I am a therapist. So I work with alternative therapies. The healing sits very well with that, but also sits very well with my psychic side. So that's why we have insurance for it. So I work both sides, holistically and spiritually, with it. My holistic clients just don't know that I'm working also with a spiritual sort of background. So it's quite diverse how I work, because obviously not everyone that comes for healing understands that I work spiritually and that it actually has got a spiritual connection. So yeah, just do your homework, Wendy, on that one. Polly's still frozen, Richard, isn't she? Did you have a comment for Di? Was it Di, somebody? I thought I see another one. She asked.
Right. Can everyone still hear and see?
I can hear you. Yeah, it's not your best still. Can we draw on that, Richard? Give her a little moustache. Yeah, we'll give her a moustache.
Right.
Magic pens.
Things happened.
You're frozen. It's all right. I had a terrible show Friday, didn't I? I was off more than I was on. Tina, I totally agree, Jane and Polly. I was drawn to healing and I was not sure which one, so I started with Reiki. And as you know, I am wanting to do Rahani. Sorry, cannot spout. You have spouted it right, Tina. And I want to do it correctly. So you have spouted it right, Tina. And I know you want to do Rahani. And obviously we have talked about that privately. So, and it's not just because people, I know when we did the Bournemouth weekend, a lot of people were quite interested when I did my talk on Rahani. A little bit of it was mentioned on my show Friday, and people have obviously since mentioned that. We're not trying to sell what we do. We're just saying that's what we got drawn to. Me and Polly both did Rahani at separate times through the same person that we both know very well, but with no idea either one of us had done Rahani. I do believe actually the lovely Kirsty is also a Rahani practitioner.
I think she is.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many of us are actually doing Rahani. It is because it was fifth dimensional, so it's a slightly higher vibration to work with now, which obviously we now need anyway in this day and age to sort of lift up people's energy levels. So, but it is what you get drawn to. You've been doing some shamanic work, haven't you?
I have. I have, and I really love it. I haven't done so much recently because it's literally been all readings. But I tend to go through stages of, sometimes it's lots of healing, sometimes it's lots of all the time it's lots of readings. Sometimes somebody thinks they want one thing and I might suggest another because of whatever's going on in their lives, for example. So yeah, I do lots of things. I like to experiment with things. I like to see where I go, because sometimes you go on a path for a certain time and then suddenly you think, no, actually I need something else. I feel like I'm drawn to something else. And if you love angels but feel like you need to do something shamanic, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to always be angels. You can also be very earthy and, you know,
yeah, definitely.
working with
and
your
I think
ancestors.
that is where it is diverse, because obviously for anyone with Rouhani, we work with the angels, don't we? We work with the archangels and the ascended masters. But I was saying this to one of my clients in a workshop the other day. Although I work with the angels and I always bring in Archangel Michael, I can't necessarily say I draw to the angels. Angel cards, if you're not necessarily saying I automatically go to. I don't necessarily call certain angels in to do things. On the healing, yes. The rest of the time, I'm working in a totally different, more probably ascended masters. I'm probably more drawn to them. But that doesn't mean when I'm healing, I'm ignoring the angels, because of course I'm not. They're the top guys. I just don't, in my day-to-day stuff, find the angels are my pull, and that's where we are all different. Carolyn said, what are the various types of healing? And she's been told she has the gift of healing many times.
Oh, there's so many healing modalities, aren't there? There's so many to, let's say, choose from, and it really is preference. I always think Reiki is a nice starting point. Some people will try Reiki and love Reiki, and that's what they do, become a Reiki master teacher, and, you know, brilliant if that's the way they want to go. But if you start with Reiki, then it might be that you're drawn to something else, like I was drawn to the Rouhani because it felt better to me, and I prefer giving Rouhani than Reiki because the energies are better for me. But I love receiving Reiki. Does that make sense? It's like I'm one of those that I'm quite happy to receive any, actually, anything. But there's all sorts. There's, gosh, I can't even think of any at the time. Crystal healing, yeah.
Healing, sound healing.
Akashic healing, isn't there? Akashic healing.
Stones.
Yeah.
There's like sound therapy. You can go into on a bed and have sound therapy, color therapy healing. There are, I mean, because more and more people are sort of creating different healing modalities, aren't they? When I say creating, maybe that I've never, because I've not been drawn to them yet. I haven't looked at the background, but more different healings are appearing. They are like coming up and appearing. And I suppose that's what goes back to what we were going to talk about. How safe is it? Because Carolyn, with answer to your, you've got the gift. Like I said, I don't see it so much as a gift. It's a calling. It's something that you would be quite passionate about. I've always said that I would pick healing all day over my psychic work. If someone said choose, it would be healing. It's normally people that work in some kind of caring role or have that sort of way about them that tend to be drawn to healing anyway, because they're already doing it in a day-to-day job. But it's what I call a calling. It's something that you want to do. You want to try and make people feel better. And I know we do when we're working psychically, but healing is just so much different. It can bring lots of emotions out. But so I'd say it's more calling. And if people are saying that that's where you should be, you need to follow your heart, because you'll know whether that's something you want to do. And the first time you actually go and do healing on somebody, it is nerve-wracking. I expect you can remember it, Polly. It's not something you suddenly do and go. It's still something you're sort of thinking, what am I doing? When you open up,
I can remember like thinking that. I remember thinking, am I making it up? You know what I mean? It was only because when you're learning, and I think when I did Reiki, I learnt. I can't remember if I learnt with somebody, or as in with other people, if that makes sense. I can't remember. It was so long ago. When I did Rouhani, I was learnt with 3 others, and the energy in the room was absolutely bonkers. It was like we've got all these healings going on and everything, and it was like fireworks going on. And that I got this past life for this lady that I had no idea about that came up in the Rouhani. And I remember saying to her that something about her being an Irish girl in this past life, and this is what had happened in her life. Obviously I won't say. Anyway, it mirrored her life now, if that makes sense, or like almost like mirrored what was going on now in her life. And I felt the need to sort of cut ties to it as well, which was quite strange, which wasn't, I guess, really Rahani. But yeah, and then she came, when I said to her, she started talking in an Irish accent. It was really odd. And I was like, whoa, this is really peculiar. But then when you're out doing it on your own, you're thinking, that was when I was being really sort of methodical about where my hands were and the patterns and things. And then I thought, you know what, I just can't do that. That's just not for me. I'll just do what feels right.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. We know our sort of starting point of Rahani and how we open up, but I actually just go where I need to go. We used to be told to turn them over, do the front and back. I never turn my people over now because I just want them to relax and stay there. We know we can do it in a chair. We can send it long distance. I'm just looking at Regan. Is it Regan King?
Yeah. Is there a healing called hazing? I have no clue.
Well, I've just Googled it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've just Googled that. So obviously for hazing in itself, Regan, if you're obviously aware of that because that's where you put the comment up, that kind of, that would be, we would still do that in our normal healing, wouldn't we? We would be using our healing to work wherever we felt someone may be needing that. I've had people get off the bed.
Sorry, what is hazing?
Hazing is psychological and can be like some form of sexual abuse. So it's quite deep psychological traumas and yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay. It's like an initiation. So doesn't mean someone probably won't do some kind of healing on it, but again, Rahani for me, it's the emblem is rose. We call it truth, love, and light. Compassion in it. Truth, love, and compassion. It's very heart-based centered. It's very pink. It's not that it's because it's girly, but it's just very pink. It's a feminine energy because of the angels, I suppose, but it's about balancing, which is what most healers are about. It's about balancing the male and the female energy. It's about grounding people, balancing them out, and trying to get some sort of stability and karma back. I say karma, not their karma, but just a calmer way about them. It can be emotional, or healing can. So I think with hazing, that would be something a lot more deeper. And I'm not so sure. Yeah, I would say no. It just wouldn't sit right, I don't think. But that's my personal opinion. Okay. So yeah, not something I would
So right, going on to something a little bit more, let's say, serious. I mean, that was serious.
Yeah, that
was serious, but like no, more serious. Let's just read Tim's comment. I think healing is the purest form of mediumship that there is. The only form of mediumship that falls into both mental mediumship and that is the practice of healing is mental mediumship and physical mediumship. That's to say, sometimes the result of healing can be physical mediumship, for example, cancerous growth disappearing. Oh, well, that just leads me on to what I was about to say.
Yeah, Tim, right. You've just hit the nail on the head there, Tim. Now you're just going to start us off, Tim.
Right. So basically what I was about to say, and we had a sort of little bit of a discussion about this before it came on, and it isn't aimed at anyone at all. It just for some reason popped up in our conversation. So has anybody had a situation where they have been ill, or maybe had known somebody that has had something like cancer or a tumour or something, and that have maybe gone to a healer that has claimed to be able to remove that and cure them of that without obviously conventional medicine? Has anybody experienced that? Now, I think that this is a really, really dangerous thing to do. I actually know of somebody who has now passed that did fall into the trap of somebody, and I don't know the person, but they don't live too far away, for I don't know them, who claimed to be able to remove their cancer. Now, because they claimed to be able to remove their cancer, which was pretty, let's say, far on in the in the stages, so it's at a later stage. And this person ended up not having medication from the doctor and from the hospitals, and ended up, relying on them. And then ended up, obviously, because they hadn't had any help. Now, they might have passed anyway, and that's the thing we have to understand. They may have passed even from having conventional treatment. However, if that person or a person or any person listened to a claim from a whatever healer they claim to be, that to me is very, very dangerous. What do you think, Jane?
Very dangerous, and also I can see my public liability insurance going right out the window.
Yeah, well, every bit of your insurance going out the window.
The first part of Tim's comment, I do sort of get. Yeah, you could say it's the purest form of mediumship, because obviously, as you know, I'm not a medium. But I do. We do joke about this, people. I do think my mediumship, actually, that's what knocked me back into trying, getting back on that sort of path, because I was so blocking it out when I did start healing, because I knew I was seeing stuff and connecting to things when I was actually healing people. So I knew I had to get back onto my mediumship path. But so I do agree with that bit. It does open you up as in your mediumship role. And it is pure because it's meant to be given with love and be caring. But yeah, I agree. From curing people, I just think that's so dangerous. We don't touch people with cancer if they're having their radiotherapy or chemotherapy. We do not have any clients on that couch if they are having any treatment. We are told not to touch schizophrenia and certain mental health conditions. I will be honest, I have. And I have disputed it with the modality. So this is where I don't stick to the rules. I never went round someone's head, because I think that is when someone's got that condition, you do need to be mindful of that. But I did go below the shoulders because I still felt this person needed calming, needed to feel less stress and try and get some grounding. It was nothing. I was not curing their mental health condition, and I certainly wouldn't be telling someone I could cure their cancer. I do think it's dangerous. We are not medical. We are not doctors. We have to acknowledge in this day, there is still illnesses that will still, unfortunately make us ill, because if that was the case, all us healers would have been, well, to be fair, that's a different subject, but with what's gone on in the last 2 years, we would have literally been walking around touching everybody in hospital, especially me as I work there, telling them they're going to be okay. That is not how we work. That is not for us to do. That is a divine intervention, and whether we agree with it or not, when something happens to somebody, it is coming from above. It is not for us to interfere with. So I definitely think that is, and that is why we talked about this, didn't we? We said it can be very, when you see people queuing up, believing they're going to get up out of the chair and walk again.
Yeah, some of those evangelistic sort of churches.
And it is funny because I love the comments I get from my people that say, they always say, stop it, Mr. P. When people say to me, "Oh, Jane, that was amazing," or they put a lovely review up on my page, or even in general say, "Oh, could I have that again? That just made me feel so good. That it's just amazing." I don't think I'm amazing. I think I'm still being channeled. So like Tim said, it's coming from a spirit level. It's someone who's channeling me, i.e. the angels and the ascended masters at the time. They are doing that work. But I still don't believe they are doing that to make people better in that scenario.
No.
They are doing it to help them day to day. So it is worrying. And I know some people said to me, "Oh, it's like you're just amazing." Well, Jesus was a healer. He actually was a healer. He did do that according to the Bible. I am not Jesus, and I tell people that. I am just me, doing what I feel drawn to and hoping that people are truly working through me with good intent.
When we say this, though,
I'm powerful enough to do that.
When we say this, though, I cannot rule out that
miracles have happened.
Yeah, through healing, that something can be reduced or go. I've heard things, whether there's whole truth in it, I don't know. Because of what I believe, and I believe that everything is energy, and I believe that if we're energy, we might be able to remove energy. However, I do feel as well that if we are supposed to be living on this earth until we're 39 and no longer, that no person, even Jesus, is going to help and save somebody. If you're, in my opinion, before I get shot down, I think that if you have
help him, did it?
A life, yeah, if you are supposed to be here for a certain period of time in your life, because that is your karmic journey, then I feel that nothing is going to keep somebody here if they're not supposed to be. Otherwise, everyone would be healed, everyone would be walking around absolutely fine, and that's just not real. It's just not real.
Definitely not.
I'm going to answer this one. Rebecca Whelan, do you recommend going to a spiritualist church when learning, studying mediumship? I have that calling. It's impossible to ignore. Now, my opinion is, if you go to regularly to a spiritualist church and you know the people and you gel with them and you feel like you'd like to learn with them, absolutely learn with them if that's what feels right to you. The only difference between, for example, somebody like me doing the teaching or other mediums doing the teaching and learning in a church is that you will learn the church way. Not necessarily, you'll still learn to become a medium. With churches, however, especially if they're SNU, there are lots of rules about what you are allowed to say and what you aren't allowed to say. And it doesn't work for somebody like me, even though I've done churches, because I need to express my mediumship in the way that feels right. I can't be held back. I will obviously be very conscientious of the person in front of me and the fact that they may be, if I'm doing a mediumship demonstration, I have to be conscientious of what I'm saying, because I don't want to bring out anything too personal in front of a crowd, for example. But absolutely, if you feel drawn to a certain church and you enjoy their company and you feel like you gel with them, absolutely do it. Doesn't also mean that you can't learn from a church and also learn from another recommended medium. Do a bit of both, I would say. You see which one seems to sort of gel with you and see which one feels right to you. But like I said, I'm a bit too gobby, unfortunately.
We both are, Rebecca, hence why we do this show.
And so I have to be able to say things in the way I need to express them, otherwise it just wouldn't work for me. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I've just pulled Rebecca a card, actually. Fork in the Road, number 13. See that? That's out of my Wisdom of Oracle. So these are Oracle cards I'm using today. And yes, I do agree. I mean, I've been to a spiritualist church as somebody that's gone and sat in the crowd. I don't disrespect anyone that does that, wants to, that's the way they want to be, and that's how they follow that thing. But I'm not very good at being doing the rules. I never was very good in school, so I can't really be very good in church. Probably why I've never followed other religions, because I just do my own thing. So I am not spiritualist, I am a spiritual person. So for me, it has to be how it comes out for me. Again, we are very mindful what we tell people. We certainly don't want to upset them or offend them. So we still have our boundaries. We have boundaries on here because obviously we're being filmed, it's live. We have to be mindful of what we're saying. But we respect that. But when we're working privately, we like to be us, just good old-fashioned us. We like to be ourselves. I can't be conformed to things. It doesn't work for me.
No, not me.
I'm not knocking anyone that does it. But when I turned the fork in the road for Rebecca, I did feel she's a little bit. When you look at that, there's a signpost of all different arrows going different ways, and I do feel that you're massively being pulled to it. Yes, but actually, I feel at the moment you've got a lot going on in general. You've got a lot going on in your personal life. You've got a lot of spiritual stuff opening up that you don't know where to go, what to do. Mediumship takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of practice. Some people say it's natural. Yes, it's natural that you can connect to spirit and understand spirit, but actually if you've not been doing it and you suddenly have to start opening up to it, you need to be committed to doing that. And so I just feel at the moment, make sure you've got enough personal time to do that, and that anything that's going on in your life is sorted out first, because although sometimes it will help you, it's also like a form of counselling. I just feel that you need to go in with a clear mind and understand what you're doing, because when you start connecting to spirit, when you truly start getting messages from them and seeing them and hearing them and smelling them, because it is quite an it's there's still times even I'm amazed at what I get. You have to really be prepared for that and understand it and actually enjoy it. It does need to be something you enjoy and smile about. I'm coming out of a serious illness. I'm trying to be a little bit careful there, Rebecca. I just want you to maybe start softly. I'm not telling you not to follow something that's calling you. And an illness, we've said this before, traumas and illnesses are usually the things that open us up to get us back out there, get us back on the right path. But I just want you to have some time out to decide where to start first. You might need to go in a little bit softly just to make sure that you're putting your physical self first and getting yourself back on track. I'm seeing bunting now. Obviously, anyone that's a pagan or follows the pagan way, it is Boughton. It is the 1st of May. So it's the Beltane, isn't it? Festive, the pagan day of whatever. It's between half spring, isn't it, and half summer. This is the halfway period, if I believe right. I don't follow paganism. I don't know if you do, Polly, but I am seeing bunting. So are you going somewhere tomorrow for May Day? Because I'm getting that you're going to go out. Hopefully the weather's better where you are, or you're doing something, because I am seeing bunting. It's in a garden. I'm seeing some kind of celebration. If you're not celebrating May Day, it may be at some kind of family celebration. Please take it easy. Please look after yourself first. But there is the spiritual stuff behind you. I can see it coming. The card's very green. It's all about growth. I just want you to take care of yourself.
Right, I'm just going to do a very quickie just so we can move on. But that was the card I pulled for you there, Rebecca. And it's the parrot. It says it's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. So yeah, totally what Jane said. Make sure you look after you first. Start to sort of gently come back into the world again. But I do want to say, yes, that's coming. Courses, things like that for you with the parrot. But do take it easy. I'd say actually, other way round first, explore some healing for yourself and then and maybe sort of see where you go with that, and then go on to like working, maybe even you want to do some reading if you're recuperating on there's some really good books out there for exercises to learn mediumship, for example, or mediumship sort of little things you can do. So I would say do it. You have a parrot. Wow. Is it called Polly, like me? Polly
Parrot. Oh, bless her. Take care of yourself, Rebecca.
Okay. It's Polly. She has one of those one-man band things on her desk. How did you know? Terry Louise, if Polly had got things drumming and vibrating under her desk, how does she keep a straight face?
So
Terry Louise.
See what, I'll tell you a little secret. As they always take the mick out of me on the Sunday sofa, because I normally say something that's really quite comical and have to carry on working with a straight face. I thought I'd get Polly back, pay their neighbour to play drums and vibrate under her desk for her.
Right. These are the symbols that were stuck to my knees. I look like one of those monkeys. That you two are a bad influence on each other.
They are, yeah. Go on, get back to your admin job.
Get up to your box, Room Alison. Regan King, there is nothing better than going to a reader and they are straight down the line and real, rough around the edges. People grow when they hear things in a real way. Regan, I really feel drawn to pulling her a card, actually. I hope Regan is female. I'm not very good at, I can't see the picture. So,
I think she's a female.
She's a lovely lady.
We can't see the picture. There is no picture, but I think it's a female.
Okay, so let's pull Ray.
I agree with Regan that they should be straight down the line and real, and not so much rough around the edges. But I still think there's a way of delivering what you tell people. If you're too direct and too blunt, and you don't know how that person's going to react, you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Be real, be truthful, but kind.
Because it's like, some people are coming for quite let's say delicate, and delicate
and emotional
issues.
problems.
I got this card for you, Reagan. So there you have the zebra.
Oh, that's nice.
And the zebra says balance. By merging varying points of view, you can generate, and I've got the wrong glasses on, an extraordinary new idea. Compromise with others and collaborate to discover a better solution. So this is saying, sorry, Reagan.
She hasn't got any balance.
Yeah, I do feel like it might be a bit of conflict going on. It might even be a bit of a conflict of your own mind, actually, there. And I know it's actually not saying this in that, but that's what I'm feeling. There just feels like there's a bit of conflict. Now, this conflict could be in your own head about something. It could be conflict with others. But I want to say, don't sort of step back and let things happen in front of you. If you've got a point of view, it's really important to put it across right now. Okay, now this could be around a work situation or something like this. It even could be a family member, actually. But I just want to say, don't butt heads. Be really, really, so like you said, straight down the line, but not unkind. I'm sure you're not. But yeah, just making sure that you say no to something if it doesn't feel right to you there. I just feel like there's a bit of butting of heads, and you almost feel like you have to do something or you have to go along with a ride on something, but actually you don't.
I've pulled Six of Pentacles.
Oh.
Which is balance. It's balance in the scales. It's about making sure you've Pentacles, if anyone knows tarot, is about finances, normally abundant, but it can come in different shapes and forms. And he's holding the scales about balance. This, what you were saying about somebody maybe, standing your ground. I do feel there's somebody taking from you at the moment. That's when I turned that. I feel that someone's take. The balance is starting to tip. The scales are starting to tip. And I just want to say, be mindful of that. And when you, again, straight down the line, balance. It's funny how we've both picked cards. Just be mindful of that. You must, it's not selfish to take care of yourself first and foremost. If you're in a good headspace and looking after yourself, then it's easier to understand others and you can say no. Yes, right. You definitely have hit the nail on the head. Yes, I have to discontent from something with the family since the passing for granny. Okay, so financially then I did feel someone's taking. So
see the six, was that the Six of Pentacles?
The Six of Pentacles, yeah.
See, the Six of Pentacles always comes up for me with things like inheritance. So if that was the one I'd have picked, I'd have said there could be some money, or there even could be some property, something like that that's been an argument about. But I do want to say here, do you know when sometimes it's just not worth it because you're not going to win on something here? And I want to say, if you just stand up for what you believe in, it's not about having a massive argument, massive row, but just stand up for who you are and what you believe in, and know that that's right. Okay, because sometimes people can wear you down. I just want to say, don't be worn down by anybody else's stuff. Right, who's next then? What else have we got here? Did anybody say that they actually received healing and some miracle occurred or anything like that?
What do you think about psychic surgery? Is it psychic surgery? Is that the right way to say it?
Well, I know two, right? And they've both got very good reputations. Do I don't know. I like, again, I can't not believe it, as in I can't rule it out. Can I rule out that actually something energetically could be taken out of somebody else? No, I can't rule it out at all. Okay, but have I ever? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I went to see a demonstration with somebody that doesn't live anywhere around this area at all. And actually, at the demonstration, I was thinking, oh, that was cool. So I travelled a long way to go and receive some myself, and it was nothing like
the demonstration.
Nothing like the demonstration. There was no talking in trance or anything like that has happened in the demonstration. So I went along. I was wholly disappointed. I didn't even feel really much healing going on. And I don't know if anyone knows on here the lovely Lulu Jones. She's been on sptv before, and I love Lulu. Anyway, I went to Lulu for some healing the other day, and oh my God, I was off the planet, right? So like I said, I paid a lot of money and went a long way to see somebody do this psychic surgery, which I didn't feel anything. And Lulu, for example, is very humble, actually. She's not all screaming and out there or anything like that. And she is so genuine and so honest. And I had this healing session. I literally felt like I hadn't felt for years. I felt like I had a weight lifted off my shoulders. So I don't know what she did, but it was amazing. And because I've been carrying quite a lot recently with lots of things that have been happening, you know, I just felt like almost like she'd almost saved my life that day, if that makes sense.
But that's the trouble with us, because we heal, we don't always get, like you said, we haven't done each other, we don't always get it back. So you probably needed it, and you probably, because obviously, and she is very lovely, Lou, and
she is.
I know somebody that came and had healing with you recently and said it was the most amazing experience they'd had. I know from my own people, they've said, oh, it's amazing. But we can self-heal. We do self-heal. It's not the same as someone actually giving it to us as well, though, because we're just doing a quick self-heal. So it is nice to get it from somebody else and appreciate it. And when you work in healing and get it and you just don't know what you were getting, it's obviously very disappointing, like anything you do.
So what do you think of the old psychic surgery thing?
Truthfully, I don't really understand whether it's healing or whether it's just a weird title. The surgery bit worries me. No one wants surgery. Someone, like I think it was Rebecca mentioned, someone told me many moons back, oh, you should be a psychic doctor, like a witch doctor, because you should do psychic surgery. And I
we know a song about that.
Yeah.
I am a witch doctor. I am in love with you.
But there we go again. I knew a song would come sooner or later. And I just thought, why would I want to do psychic surgery? I'll just do healing. And I don't think the title would have sat right with me. And I didn't really understand where that sort of come from. And I don't personally, I don't think I've ever seen a psychic surgery. I know there was a lovely lady that used to do one of the fairs we used to go to that did some sort of psychic-y, healing-y sort of thing. She never called it surgery. I think it's the title. The title concerns me. And it does go back to that we are making people better. We're making people better emotionally and mindfully, not necessarily physically. I don't know. That said, when I broke my leg, I did, because I knew I was going into shock, massively pulled myself back and literally was healing myself from head to toe until I got to hospital, because I was that traumatized. But it didn't fix my leg. It still had to be fixed.
But it kept you probably sane and safe.
In the zone. So I think it can help us in a quick fix. It's not a long-term solution for major things.
I believe that things can happen if they're supposed to happen. I think that's what I believe. So if somebody's maybe tumor was removed by somebody, but they didn't claim that they could do it, and they were saying, right, okay, I will do my best to help in any way I can, balance you up, etc., etc., etc. And then miraculously something was removed, which obviously helped them massively. Then I'd be, oh my God, wow, you know, but I'd still want to see the pictures of the tumor, and I'd still want to see that it wasn't there anymore, or something like that, to be able to fathom that in my head, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they do bring healing complementary therapies into palliative care now, don't they? You can go to hospices and they will have people doing that. But again, I think that's more to just help the person relax and start to accept the journey that they're just about to embark. So Tony Wright has put, are there different levels in healing? Well, obviously there's Reiki. Is it Reiki 1 and Reiki 2?
Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and then Reiki Master, then Reiki Master Teacher.
Yeah. So, and then Rahani, it's Rahani practitioner and then Rahani teacher. So the levels, I think, it's like anything. Maybe people add them on. Again, I think if you're healing, you're healing. You don't need to go, I heal at level 2. Or heal at level 1. I think you're healing.
Well, yeah, I mean, with Reiki, for example, level 1, you're not actually supposed to go and do get paid for it and do the general public. It's like your friends, your family, I would say, or yourself. Reiki 2, then you'd be able to get insurance to be a practitioner and go out and do that. Obviously, as a Reiki master, then you've gone that next level up, Reiki master teacher, then you could be teaching yourself. I've not become a teacher in either, because I just haven't felt the calling to. I like doing it, but I just don't really want to teach it. One day maybe I'll change my mind. But yeah, we'll see. I prefer teaching other things. That's just how I roll.
So there's your answer, Tony. And again, it depends. That's only the ones we know about. We don't know if they do levels in other sort of healing practices. So
Tony, right, I just pulled you a card. It's the 10 of spring. I don't know if I've just pulled this one a minute ago. It says it's the St. Bernard dog. You're working far too hard and the stress will become too much. Reach out and for help from others and take some time to play and enjoy life. You definitely need to, Tony. You need to start thinking about you, thinking about how much you're putting into things, and making sure that what you're, let's say, heading for, you're doing in a balanced way. Everything just feels like you've just been working so hard and taking life so seriously. I still want to say you've got a very good sense of humour. For some reason I want to say you've got a very good sense of humour, but it feels like you've sort of, let's say, let your personal life fall by the wayside a little bit there. It feels like there might have been some focus upon money or finances, something like that going on around you as well, Tony. And it's just time to ease up on that a little bit, to be honest, and just started to book some things. And there might be a wedding or something coming up for you, Tony, as well, actually. If you don't understand this, it'll be like something like a wedding coming up or an engagement, something like that. So I would say just start enjoying yourself, book a travel lodge or something, or any other reputable cheap hotel, and enjoy yourself for the evening.
Just quickly, Tony, I got the smell of brandy when Polly was talking, so I don't know if someone's passed over. I do feel reasonably recently, because then 2 cards fell out when I was doing something else. I got healing the past and embracing the future. You couldn't get 2 cards to. I just felt there's been some grief, there's been some sadness. This person, it was very brief. It was brandy. It's their drink. That's what I got told. It's their drink. And I just felt they said it's time you opened that door. So a bit like Polly was saying, I feel you do need to not literally open the door. You're probably doing that on a daily basis. But I want to say it's time you opened the door and got out there. It's time you started moving forward. That's what they're telling me. But I can't. It's just the brandy. It's so strong. But that's my drink. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
Okay, 100%. So, brilliant. So, any other thoughts, any other comments there about healing, or anything that anyone wants to say? Millie B, does anyone believe that hypnosis is spiritual, or do you think it's a different kind of work? I think it can be holistic. I think it can certainly be under the holistic umbrella, especially if you are doing past life hypnosis, past life regression, because I know lots of people that do hypnotherapy, and I also know people that have done it under more of a holistic umbrella. Is it, well, I mean, you're healing from the subconscious and everything, aren't you, as well? So absolutely, I think it's a kind of spiritual, but not necessarily all spiritual. It's about your spiritual self, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it sits, because obviously it's again another trained accredited course. So if you're looking for a hypnotherapist, please make sure you're looking for a reputable one, not someone that just says they can do it. You are allowing someone to take you into a submissive state, so that you need to be mindful of that. But I do think it's spiritual. I've actually had hypnotherapy. I had it for traumas that obviously came out after my accident, so I had it. It is spiritual, yes, in a way that, because I'm spiritual, while I was under hypnotherapy, I was having all sorts going on and seeing all sorts of different things. Because once you are spiritual and once you are working like that, any kind of treatment like that, even counselling, will open you up to more stuff, because you're already quite open and quite open-minded. So for me, the hypnotherapy was a little bit strange. Not only did it try and help the trauma, but I was getting all sorts of almost ascension. I was having another form of ascension under hypnotherapy.
I had something very similar recently when I had some hypnotherapy. And no, we didn't use chloroform, Mr. Producer.
Oh, he's naughty, isn't he? It was a woman, so I hope she wasn't doing anything to me, Mr. Pete.
Yeah, mine was a lady. I wonder if it was the same lady. But yeah, I had all sorts going on, and I had all sorts of these images. And God, even when I had Healing with Lulu the other day, I was having all sorts of weird and wonderful things going on. I was like off the planet, and it was like I was trying to focus on it, and then it was like changing to something else and changing to something else, and they certainly weren't things that I'd been thinking about all day. Yeah, I felt very different when I came out of it, very different, which is good.
Well, I mean, I'm not very familiar with the goddesses because I don't really do the divine feminine energy, but is it Kali, Ka, the goddess that she's a little bit scary. She looks like death. She's skull-like, and she wears a necklace of skulls, bones around her neck. I can't. That's what I got. The image. I actually told the person that's and she knew who I meant. I didn't, and she said she is a warrior. She comes in to show you your strength. Although she's quite scary to look at. Her face came right up to mine, like she was going to lick me. And Kalai.
Are you sure you're not her? Jane.
She's in Hinduism. Well, she literally was on top of me, Richard. So whether she had the chloroform, I don't know. Yeah, I did check I was fully dressed when I woke up.
do you feel like you might have been having a flashback from Bournemouth?
Could have been. Yeah, it could have been the Baileys that Alison was plying me with. Yeah, it could have been that. But no, I tell you, it was quite uplifting. But I did think, whoa, who's she? Where did she come from? Because I don't follow. I mean, we've said this before. We don't do everything spiritual. We haven't got time. I'm not really into the goddesses. I'm not saying I wouldn't mind going and trying a few rituals out, but I don't really know who they are as such. I know the basics that Isis that appears in Ascended Masters and stuff like that, but I really didn't know who she was. It was a little bit like, wow, where did you come from?
I want to go and read about this.
Yeah, she's about strength of character, and she shows you she comes at a time where you are regaining back your strength and taking back control. So quite apparent for what I was having done, actually. So yeah, there you go, Millie. So it is a little bit spiritual and I skipped out of there with a load of bones around my neck. But yeah, I just picked your cards as well, Millie, quickly. Time to go. And look at her skipping. She's skipping up the stairs there. It made me think of bedtime. I don't know why. It made me feel like you're not going to bed when you should. And someone's saying it's time to go, as in upstairs, get yourself to bed. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just had to pull that, and that's what I got. You need to get to bed earlier, skipping up the stairs and not burn the candle at both ends. So there you go.
It's funny because when you were talking, I don't know, Millie, if there's either a new or renewed love in your life. Do you know when you could either be, I don't know, talking to somebody, messaging somebody, whether it's a friend or partner or what? It's like, I just feel like you might be on screen quite a lot or texting, whatever. But it just feels like there's something new coming in. Now, like be a new friend. It could be, like I said, I don't know if you're in a relationship or not, but it could be a new relationship. But it feels like there's going to be some like, yeah.
She needs to stop doing that because she's not going to bed on time.
Yeah. So I do feel like if it hasn't happened already, Millie, there's going to be some communication. There's going to be some communication, and it's going to be quite exciting. But do go to bed on time, exactly like
do go to bed on time.
Auntie Jane says.
That was just me being a joke, but we're all guilty. Well, I'm not, because I hide my phone in the drawer and I put it on a sleep mode. But our technology shouldn't be anywhere near us when we're going to bed. So get some sleep. And Richard's laughing at me because he's obviously thinking of something much more different to what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, make sure you leave your technology in your drawer where it should be. Right. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Rosa. Happy birthday to
Nicole.
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday, dear
birthday to
Nicole.
Nicole Stern.
Happy birthday to you.
There you go. Don't get that on a Sunday, do you?
Rosa, me. I feel like spirits are trying to communicate with me. Yesterday was nuts. 8:44 a.m. was on all my pictures and videos by itself all day.
8:40.
What did that mean? Oh, okay.
Is it? You just Googled that.
And you just Googled it.
You do not know everything.
The voice from above has just said 8:44. 8:44 is what? Sorry, voice from above. Time for spiritual growth. I'm sure you probably Googled it anyway, Rosa. But yes, absolutely, spiritual growth for you, and especially if you're like waking up at random times, etc. Sometimes I do that. I have a stage of waking up at like 2:22 or 11 minutes past 1 in the morning, something like that. And if I do wake up and it is literally like numbers like that, for example, they'll take probably more notice. But 8:44, if you're seeing 8:44 all day, definitely take notice of it, because it's there for a reason.
I get 4:44.
4:44.
I got 4:44. I woke up today at 4:44, and I thought, not on my day off, I don't think. But yeah, I got 4:44. I get that quite a bit. I've never seen it with 8. But if Mr. P's Googled it, I'm not going to argue with him. Like
No,
I said,
there's all sorts of angel numbers, isn't there? But I mean, I just wouldn't have a clue. They're not something I retain, really. I did Google it, yeah. I'm going to say I would have Googled it, Rosa. You're not alone.
I get it's spiritual growth, but I'm a little dubious of Google anyway, and angel numbers, because I think you could put in any. I bet you could put 666 in and it'll tell you it's angelic. Let's go try that.
The producer's going to try
any sequence of numbers. They go. I truly believe. Yeah. So
encouragement to refocus.
Is it angel? And again, if you're an angelic person, but obviously numerology is probably more involved in that, and you'd probably get more information out of it from numerology, wouldn't you, than you would?
I see. I don't tend to do angel numbers. I tend to do numerology numbers or spiritual numbers, not necessarily the angelic numbers, but only because 666 is a good positive number. Apparently,
that's what Lucifer thought, anyway. No. Well, I don't know if you can see it in my thing. I've got a picture of Lucifer behind me. It's a engraved woods.
I thought it was a baddie in Batman or something.
Yeah. Moving on. I just quickly though, I got Rosa the Chariot. So although it says it's spiritual growth at the moment, I'm feeling that she's at a little bit of a stop. She's having a bit of a moment at the moment. She's not sure how to go forward. What Lucifer is, or the 8:44. I feel that you need it's not even a crossroads. You're not at a crossroads. When the Chariot appears, it's more about you're not moving forward and you're putting that block in front of you. So I just feel that you need to be a little bit more open and understand what is going on with you at the moment, and actually moving that out the way and continue moving, because I've just got there's a little bit of a barricade around you at the moment. So I don't know if that's going to make any sense, but yeah, I'm not knocking that angel number, because that's obviously another way of also telling you that it is safe to do that. We should never fear what's ahead of us. So move out the blockage and move forward.
Funny, because I picked the 5 of winter, the collie dogs there. You can see that.
Look at that.
And it says the current path isn't leading you towards the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. So this is definitely saying, another one there, sometimes we could be flogging a dead horse. Now that's not to say that you shouldn't be going forward in a certain way, or in a certain way you want to. But I've seen it with other people and other mediums time and time again, But I feel in doing everything, I'm doing everything. What am I missing?
She
No,
put
do you
before
know?
that, she said she had the chariot, love, and then she said, yes, I'm stuck. And then, but I feel I'm doing everything. What am I missing?
Right, just, do you know, sometimes we can have our finger in too many pies, right? And sometimes we can really want something and really expect to go in a certain direction. What we're doing by doing that is missing, let's say, our calling. Because I know a few people before that have been, say, really good healers, and then they want to go out and be a medium. Now, they might be a really good medium, but it might not be their calling. So everything that, you know, is happening with them might go back to healing, for example. I know that at one point I was a bit like Jane. I thought, do you know what, I want to be more of a healer than a reader. And I know we heal through our readings. Doesn't work. I mean, I do really good healings, people love it, but everybody knows me for my readings, especially my one-to-one readings, for example, because they can be really out there sometimes. But yeah, so this is saying sometimes carry on in the ways that you're wanting to do, go ahead with things, but do listen to yourself, what's feeling good to you. Don't do what other people are wanting you to do or what other people are expecting you to do. It's not about them. And people could be walking on your journey, but they're walking next to you, they're not walking your journey. So it's really important. Your cousin, she's talking to me. I've missed one there.
Yeah, something about an agenda. There's something about there's a hidden agenda.
Hidden agenda. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got to be aware of it. All right. That, well, again, say yes. Only say yes to things if you want to. Yeah, sometimes you are doing too much. Sometimes, like I said, you can have your finger in so many pies that you're actually missing what you're supposed to be doing, what you're really good at. And actually, you know, by wanting to be something, that's great. Go down that avenue. But if it doesn't take you to where you're wanting it to go, or you don't feel like you're progressing or whatever, it sometimes is just have a rest from it and then start again. Because it can sometimes, when you've got too much going on in your head, things are hard. It's hard doing a reading if you've got lots going on in your head. You have to do so much preparation and meditation and cutting cords before you can do a reading if you've got a lot of personal stuff going on, for example. So just chill out, enjoy it, especially if you're doing anything spiritual or holistic. Maybe, you know, if you're doing anything holistic, do a swap with somebody like me and Jane might, for example. Enjoy what you do, see where it takes you, go to different things. It's amazing who you can meet on, you know, courses and things like that, and spiritual fairs. So just enjoy the moment. Just don't do too many things. You don't have to be everything. Be what Rosa should be.
And don't have to attend everything. You just go to where you feel comfortable.
Sorry, my cousin is on here and you are telling me what she tells me. I do too much for others too. Yeah, I mean, it's lovely that you do, Rosa. And it's, please don't change your lovely qualities. But just don't let anyone take advantage of you at the same time, you know, because people can take and aren't not. Some people take are very good at taking and don't necessarily give anything back. Don't change who you are. Don't change being lovely. Just maybe cut it down and say no sometimes, especially if you know that they're just taking off you.
Yeah. And hello, Rosa's cousin.
Yeah, hello, Rosa's cousin. I don't know who Rosa's cousin is, but hello.
Okay, we're going to do some adverts, so we'll be back afterwards.
Tomorrow morning from 11 a.m, join us for our live and interactive brunch show with Alison Barton and Dawn Collinson. Each week they introduce a different guest while Dawn offers free mediumship readings. Tomorrow night from 8 a.m, join Matt and Kirsty Grogan for their spiritual advice show. Those who ask the best questions will be offered mediumship or oracle card readings. Spiritual Psychics TV presents an holistic fair on Saturday the 11th of June, offering the best in spiritual readers and market stalls. Join us from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Throughout the day there will be many stalls such as natural polished crystals and stones, qualified complementary therapists offering spiritual healing. This exciting day is being held at the Waterlooville Community Centre, with plenty of free parking. A wide range of handmade products including candles, oils, jewelry, naturally organic and vegan soaps, creams, and bath bombs. Not forgetting the kids, we have face painting and a bouncy castle to enjoy all day. For those who are interested in potions, spells, and essentials oils, then we have a stall for you here as well. Maybe you're looking for a reading, be it mediumistic, palm, or tarot. 11 readers are available throughout the day. Refreshments such as drinks and light snacks are being provided by the 1940s tea room from Harnett. Plenty of free workshops, talks, and a demonstration of mediumship are also planned during the day. For more information, please visit mbs.spiritualpsychicstv.online.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, you just saw the lovely advert there for the 11th of June for the spiritual fair, Mind, Body, Spirit Fair. That's at Waterlooville Community Centre. We are pleased to also announce now that we have changed the venue for the evening demonstration of mediumship, but we have the lovely Kirsty and Matt. Haven't seen Kirsty and Matt for ages. The lovely Bill Hughes. So if you are all SPT viewers, if you've joined today, for example, make sure you do check them out, because Kirsty and Matt do Monday evenings, and Bill Hughes does, is it every other Thursday? Yeah, every other Thursday evening with Collective Consciousness. Excellent mediums who have had the pleasure of working with all of them. Absolutely amazing mediums. Obviously, we're going to now be at the Roebuck Inn in Droxford Road, Wickham, for the evening. It's really important, because we have got limited spaces, that you do book your tickets as soon as possible. This is sort of an opportunity not to be missed, because obviously Bill, he lives in the London area. We've got Kirsty and Matt who live in a different area that I cannot remember, and you know, they're obviously not local to the Portsmouth area. It's really like a good opportunity, a rare opportunity to come and see us all, meet and greet. The lovely Jane will be there, I'm sure. Obviously the lovely Richard, and probably some more faces that you'd like to meet. And so, yeah, it would be absolutely amazing to see you, but please do book your tickets, like I said, because we have got limited spaces, and the Roebuck Inn do lovely food if you want something beforehand. So, back to the show.
Back to the show. So, have we got any more questions?
Matt and Kirsty, you're in Kent. I have just been told. I completely forgot. Nice. So, what's next on our little agenda then?
Tracy Tuck, would you trust anyone to give healing, or would you have to feel drawn to them? Drawn to them, definitely. I like to know who's touching my body. I like to know and have a feeling, and you know, I mean, there's some great healers. There's Brian Walker, Lulu, who I suggested earlier, obviously the lovely Jane, myself, if you felt drawn to, but there's so many really good healers out there. But I would, if you don't know personally any healers, what I would do is phone some up. Okay, so maybe look for some recommendations on some sites, for example, see what other people have written about them, and talk to them. Okay, before you book an appointment, insist you talk to them, see how you feel with them. Do they explain everything to you? Are they making you feel comfortable, for example? So yeah, absolutely, please do. Any good healer or reader or anybody should have the time to speak to you if you have got any concerns or any questions. I certainly would be. I always say to people, you know, they're quite happy to have a phone call with them before they come if they want to me to explain what's going on with them. So yeah, absolutely, do go to drawn or a good recommendation as well. Definitely.
Emma Adams, as a child, my mum took me to see a healer. I had bad eczema on my face that no matter what prescriptions or creams would never heal. Within a week of seeing the healer, eczema cleared and never returned. Wow. Now, it could well be that, because I always say with eczema, or often with eczema, that people have to be mindful of things like they could have a dairy allergy, for example. So that's things that I would rule out first. Like a dairy can accentuate things like eczema. So can being celiac, or having for example, like myself, or if you have like a gluten allergy, something like that, that can flare your skin up really, really badly. With autoimmune diseases, a lot of people get things like psoriasis. And again, if you're not looking after your gut health, then obviously that, you know, can have a bad effect upon your health. However, sometimes people have eczema and allergies and other things because they are out of balance, very fear-based, very anxious. And if that healer, for example, had put you back into balance again, or let's say balanced your body so that you didn't feel so anxious, for example, that can also improve your skin. It could improve a lot of things. So absolutely, I totally believe you as well. You know it, you're the one that lived with it. So that's absolutely amazing. Well done. What do you think?
No, I agree, because I think eczema, I mean, I'm an asthma sufferer, and eczema and asthma sit very close together. Asthma can be brought on with allergies, but can also be brought on from stress and anxiety. So I do think that there's an element there that it could be, a rash could come out from that. I suffer with fibromyalgia, so I get all sorts of weird and wonderful rashes one day and disappear the next. So although we still acknowledge that it could be dairy, gluten, or an allergy, it could also be stress related. So I'm not saying that healing doesn't work for those sort of conditions. We're talking more life threatening, long term conditions. And even if you feel you need healing for that, fine, but also take the advice of sort of medical people. I think that's what we were sort of aiming at today. So yeah, I don't disagree that her eczema didn't disappear, because maybe as a child it was brought on through stress, because you'd be more worried about, especially at school. I know I went to school many moons back with somebody that had quite bad eczema, and it did, really upset them on a day-to-day basis. As an adult, they don't have any eczema. So it was probably the stress of knowing that she looked like that day to day that was stressing her out. So definitely agree. I had to drink goat's milk as a child. So you obviously had an allergy base anyway then, Emma, or did you just have a goat in the garden and it was cheaper? Oh, I'd love a goat in my garden.
I've been absolutely, the lovely Alison Barton keeps tagging me in goat things on Facebook.
Yeah,
she knows I like a little goat. I love a little goat.
I know, it's a lovely goat, Our show today was going to be how many times we could sing a song from a word we said or a sentence, because we were doing it before we came on, but we thought we'd be more practical and stick to the subjects.
and more mature.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often. Right, so any other inspiring thoughts? Joanne Lewis, I was shown how to do crystal healing, but then went on to do a 2-year spiritual healing course. Just love healing. Joanne, that's lovely. Because we said before, didn't we? Like, one thing can often lead to another thing. One modality can lead to another modality. And it is a journey, isn't it? You don't stay the same. And what floats your boat one day, one day you feel you've gone further than that. You might first of all start with angel cards and then feel the mediumship coming in and go with that. It's all growth. So absolutely brilliant, Joanne. Lovely.
And like I said, healing is spiritual. So all our courses, all our healing is spiritual healing. So yeah, it is and if you enjoy it, and if you come out of it feeling you've achieved or have enjoyed it and it's opened you up, then that's all that matters.
Joanne, just quickly, I just pulled you a card. Queen of Winter, you have the leopard there. And it says, all your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. I want to say a leopard never changes its spots, funnily enough. So if you have had anybody around you recently that maybe have been taking a little bit too much of your time, or taking a little bit too much of your energy, this could be again around work, I feel. I actually do feel around anything work related, actually. Could it also be on a personal level as well? But it feels like, because you've got such a big heart, Joanne, I want to say just make sure that you put a price on what you do, even if you're doing swaps for what you do. For example, I just feel like there might just be somebody coming in, if they haven't already, that might be taking advantage of your services or taking advantage of your kindness. Again, like I said earlier on, don't change who you are, but sometimes there has to be a boundary, and the boundary has to be because you need to be looking after you for a bit. Yeah, I just feel like your energies feel a little bit tired, or if that doesn't make sense now, it's going to, where a lot of things are going on, or a lot of things are coming to you all at once. Great for your hard work and great on your spiritual journey, though this is saying you're being led in the right direction. And I do feel like any mediumship around you, any mediumship learning and development is going to be really coming out within your healing as well, actually, Joanne. So be prepared for that, because it actually feels like you might come out with some real good information. Use your intuition when you're healing, especially, like I said, or your mediumship, because there's definitely something coming in here which feels really quite strong, and it's going to be different for you and change, and it's going to be an asset. That's that.
Yeah, good. I just quickly got never-ending story.
Never-ending story.
I feel like she's sitting
la, la,
like
la,
the
la,
time,
la, 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 la.
the time glasses, the sand. What are they? The timers, the sand. I feel like she's sitting on one of them, and at the moment, I feel like your heart's dropped underneath. So I do feel there's somebody that's probably taking something from you at the moment, and you just need a little bit more upliftment. But I keep getting TikTok in my head, and I don't know if it's TikTok as in the TikTok app, or just TikTok as in bide your time. I'd say it's bide your time. I'm just getting TikTok going on. Don't know why. So yeah.
There was someone, I have to move away from him. Okay, Joanne.
Okay. So that TikTok then, and biding your time, is and the never ending story then, I'm going to say, is it something that you know you're getting the same old, how can I say that because we're live, but it's repeat, I'm going to say, and it's time to stop repeating.
And she says, wow, thank you, have been inspired that something is changing. It's going to be changing for the better, Joanne.
Yeah.
Be prepared in a good way.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will I ever heal myself on my search? It consumes me, but I really feel okay with it, because I feel like I'm still the voice keeping Nicole's name out there. Will I ever heal? I'm just going to have to read that again, Crystal. Will I ever heal myself on my search? It consumes me, but I really feel okay with it, because I feel like I'm still the voice keeping Nicole's name out there. Right then, will you ever heal yourself? Right, Crystal. Of course you can heal yourself. Sometimes we have to help, let's say, have a guide or a mentor or a healer or somebody like a therapist maybe to talk to. But sometimes I want to say that, Crystal, you're keeping a lot in here, all right, at the moment. Almost, and I totally understand why, but becoming almost like obsessive with your thoughts. Now, I can understand why. One of the old cases in Canada, and I feel the cops just gave up. Crystal, I think if there is a case, for example, that you're trying to follow or trying to help with or trying to fathom out, I want to say go with your gut on it. I want to say as well, be careful of your own energy in it, because there's something within you that can become quite obsessed with this. Okay, now I'm not saying that in any disrespectful way, and I know that we can all do it. We can all overthink something. We can all become quite obsessed with something, but you have to be careful of it. What you need to do is find your truth, okay, or the truth that feels right to you. I've got a feeling here that if you try to maybe present it as something, I don't feel that you may be listened to. All right. And that could be very frustrating for you, Crystal. So I would say sometimes we have to think about our own truth, what we feel is the truth, where we feel drawn to, what feels right. But I want to say, will you heal yourself? I think that you need to be looking at yourself and not anybody else's healing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think, Jane?
No, I agree. I picked funny, I got Launching Your Journey and The Lovers in the tarot. And I just felt your journey isn't to go out and do what you're doing. Your journey is actually to start finding yourself, because it's consumed you and you've lost who you are, and those around you still need to know who you are, and you still need to be here. And I also think with the Lovers, although people straight away go, oh, it's a love affair, it's not. It's actually about a relationship back with yourself. It's about reconnecting with yourself and being true to yourself and loving yourself. We can have things that take over us and we don't even realize they've consumed us, and we need to reconnect with ourselves to understand who we are. That doesn't mean we forget people, that doesn't mean we forget a purpose or a meaning, but we must bring ourselves back. At the bottom of Launching Your Journey, it says sailing forth into the universe, but it makes me feel you're not on your travels in an enjoyable way, and the universe, you're almost lost in it. You need to come back down to earth. You need to be in the real time at the moment, and you need to deal with day-to-day stuff. It's not helping you as a person. You've disconnected almost. The Lovers are almost showing me that you've come away from yourself. There's like two beings of you, but on this earth plane, and you need to come back together and be yourself. Okay.
So how do you forgive yourself? Sorry, Jane, I didn't mean to talk over you.
How do you forgive when you only think you know? How do you forgive when you only think you know?
Well, I think unless you've got anything concrete in front of you that is like for example, some evidence or some proof, I don't think you are going to be able to know. You know, I mean, there's lots of people that might have let's say their view on what happened to Madeleine McCann, right? I'm just saying that as an example. Some people think it's dodgy. It's dodgy, obviously. Some people think that the parents might be dodgy, or some people think that it was something completely different. Now, we might have our opinions, and we might have tuned into that and thought, actually, no, I know what happened. However, unless we can prove something with concrete evidence or proof, then we can't. It's not going to make a difference to, say, the authorities or the police or the investigators. So exactly what Jane just said, you really need to. I don't think you just need to let yourself be you for a bit, okay, and concentrate on yourself, because at the moment, by going too far into it, you're actually going to make yourself really ill, Crystal. And I just want to say it's blocking me from great things, but I feel I've got to keep going for her and her life. I'm not going to say don't look, because you probably will carry on looking. That's your choice and your decision. However, it is going to block you, and it's going to block you in a lot of different ways, and probably friendships and even relationships. And I want to say, just it's going to end up pushing people away from you, when I think that you actually need people at the moment, and you actually need to just look at yourself and concentrate on yourself, have some healing. What's making you feel like you need to keep pursuing this? And you just, looking at it like that, really, Crystal. And you had an interview with them, and I felt like they didn't believe me. I just feel like it's going to carry on like that. I'm going to be honest with you, unless you had something concrete. I think we should leave it there.
Yeah. Good night. Good morning. Good evening. Okay. Tonight at 7:30 is the VIP live mediumships show. Is that Zoom or on Facebook? Zoom. On Zoom. So if you're a VIP, log into that. Tune into that, not log in. But yeah, that's on tonight. And that is us done, I think. Lovely.
Yes.
Harnett. Mrs. Honey.
Well, I'm off on my hollybobs. I will be on this Thursday, so I'm going to be away for a week. And so, if anyone doesn't get hold of me, that's where I am, in sunny Menorca. I'm hoping.
Oh wow, you'll be in sunny Menorca, and I'm off to isolate for my op on Thursday. So you're having definitely more fun than me.
I'll FaceTime you from there.
No, I'll FaceTime you from my bed. Oh yeah. And then next weekend there is no SPTV. Mr. P is actually having a holiday. The first one in how many years, Mr. P? 3 years he's having a break. First time ever. He's not going anywhere. He's just putting his feet up on the sofa. I don't know what he's doing actually, but he's having the weekend off. So there will be no shows from what time you're shutting down? Thursday night. So he's got Friday off, Saturday off, and Sunday. And he will resume business on Monday, probably with the lovely Alison for her 11 o'clock brunch. So yeah, I hope. Yes, I said 11 o'clock, didn't I? 11 o'clock. You just what it says, 11 o'clock. Anyway, don't care. But anyway, so yes. So me and Polly will be back in a fortnight. Polly will have a tan. I might look a little bit shady.
You always look a little bit shady.
Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure. And take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.